Good morning, everybody. This is Jerry Fetty from Smart Services. I'd like to welcome you to our webinar today. This is part 2 of the benefits and pitfalls of using social media in your agency. Part 1 of our series, we talked about what are pretty much the basics of social media. What are different types of social media sites that are out there? What are some of the common sites that are used? And some basics about using them, and some common pitfalls and ways to avoid those pitfalls. In today's presentation, we're going to talk about some social media tools that you can use to make using and working with social media much easier for you and your staff. We'll share with you our social media strategy and how we encompass using social media within our organization. And then we'll talk about some resources as well out there for you. There's obviously so many resources out there that it's hard to sort them all out, and we'll focus you in on some resources that we think are very beneficial for you to follow up with and to learn more about social media. Then we'll give you a quick list of what you should do now to get started with social media. And at the end, I will open up the microphone and we'll do a question and answer session. I really envision spending about 20 to 30 minutes on the actual presentation and then using any time after that for questions and answers. And before I begin, when we do get to the question and answer session, I will ask everybody to please keep your microphone on mute, especially if you have us on a speakerphone. Unless you're going to ask a question, and then just unmute your microphone. If everybody's on speakerphone, when you have an open mic, the audio quality is very bad. So just go ahead and get started. Now, the other thing I'll remind you of too is, I don't really consider myself a social media expert yet. Social media has been out for a very short time, and there's really not too many people out there yet who have had enough time, unless they work with it for about 14 hours a day, to really become an expert. But I do believe the information that we have to share with you will definitely help you on your quest to learn and use more of social media. So first, we're going to talk about social media tools. The first tool I'd like to share with you is one called Tweetdeck. Again, I'd like to remind everybody at the end of this presentation, I'll show you a link that you can download this presentation to get all of the links that are contained within it. The presentation has actually already been uploaded and is ready for you to download at the very end of this presentation. And I say that because Tweetdeck is a tool you might want to try to download and use as well. What Tweetdeck does is an application that you can put on your computer and basically attach it to your Twitter account and to several of your other accounts. And instead of using the Twitter page to read and send tweets, which gives you one column of basically everything that's coming in, which sometimes is confusing to read, you can actually go into TweetDeck and create different columns of information. So you can have a column that's all of your people that you're following and your tweets that you see, or you can just do a search on a certain item, like maybe just yourself or your company or some other product or some other topic, and just see the tweets that are coming in for those items as well. And you actually don't have to be following the individuals to see that information. It actually lets you create quite a few columns. It will also attach to Facebook and actually now to LinkedIn, and I look forward to it connecting to other social media sites as well. So with TweetDeck, if I was going to post an update to Twitter, I could also tell it to put it on my Facebook page and put it on my LinkedIn page at the same time. And actually, if I had multiple accounts, multiple Twitter accounts out there, like say for myself and one for my company, or who knows, maybe some other ones for interests that I have, I could post a tweet and have it automatically post to all of those accounts at the same time if I would like to. TweetDeck, the one thing that I will say about TweetDeck is it is still a very new product. It is still considered a beta product. I have personally been using it for about 6 months now, and it's been pretty stable for me, so I would expect it to be for most as well, but it is still beta, so I'd caution there. But basically, in TweetDeck, here's the TweetDeck interface. You can see I only have one account set up right now, but if I had multiples, they would all show up here at the top. And over here are my columns, and you can see I have all of my friends or people that I'm following set up. I also have a column set up searching for smart IT services, so I can see anything that's tweeted about smart IT services. One for myself, so I can see if anybody mentions me anywhere on Twitter, that information will show up. And also, this is a built-in column as well, one for mentions. Now, you can actually have just about as many columns as you would like, and then you can scroll over to see more of them. On my desktop, at my workstation, I just counted and I had about 20 columns set up right now. And I can search through there, like I have one called Insurance in Michigan, so I can see what anybody's saying about that. Or I have another one. I grew up up in Mackinac, the Mackinac area, and worked up in Mackinac City most of my younger career. So I have an interest in Mackinac, so I have one called Mackinac, and I can see tweets that are posted about the Mackinac area. So a pretty good tool for that. Now, some other neat things about Tweetdeck is right here you can type in whatever the message is that you want to tweet or send, and simply hit enter, and it will send it out for you automatically. You don't have to go to Twitter to do that. The other things that it does, and something that I hold very dear to my heart, is it does spell checking, which I find very helpful. So it'll automatically spell check your tweets for you. And if you can see over here, it will auto shorten your URL as well. So if you put in a web address, it'll auto shorten it for you, giving you more room to put in your message. You can see over here, as we know on Twitter, you're allowed 140 characters, and this will let you know how many you've done. Also, the newer updates of Tweetdeck will allow you to upload videos or audio files or even photos very easily as well. So it really makes posting and tweeting very easy, and you can even schedule a tweet. So if you had something you wanted to tweet about and you thought about it on the weekend, but it was really something kind of work related and you didn't want it to come out until later in the week, you could put it in and schedule that for later. Or if you had a bunch of ideas of information to share, instead of tweeting them all sequentially or all at once, you could go and put them in and tell the system to spread them out over the week. So I find it as a very useful tool. And you can just go on to Google and type in Tweetdeck, do a search for it, and find it, and download and install it. The other thing that I like about Tweetdeck is it's an actual application that installs on your computer. You don't actually have to have a web browser open or be on the web to use it. It obviously doesn't get any updates or send your updates out when you're not on the web, but the next time you connect, those will all automatically happen for you. Another tool that I find pretty useful, and a lot of other folks like to use as well, I actually use this in conjunction with Tweetdeck and kind of go back and forth between them and using them, and some people will focus on just one or another, is a tool called Hootsuite. Hootsuite is actually an online application, and it works through a web browser, and it actually in many ways is similar to Tweetdeck. Some of the major differences in Hootsuite is, again, it works through a browser. You don't actually have to install an application, which if you don't carry a computer around with you and you're like at a hotel or at a friend's house or something and you want to jump on and go into your Hootsuite, you can without downloading and installing any software. Hootsuite also has applications for smartphones, like including the iPhone, and can let you track some stats and other things as well. And Twitter actually has some of that, or Tweetdeck actually has some of those features as well.